All right, it looks like we are off with race 2. Cam is going to elect to start with Crashman right away, get the long stage out of the way, and Kyle going to quick.
Ooh, kammesennin hitting a unfavorable enemy distribution with the lag frogs showing up.
Yeah, that could be problematic coming up because another pro tip, the enemy that shows up at the very first screen of Crash Stage is what's going to show up here in the elevator rooms. So this is going to be a lag fest.
And especially without any kind of item to get through this is just going to be brutal. Hopefully it doesn't cause too much trouble, but especially with the smaller frogs apparently not having any of this buster shot nonsense.
Yeah, they're bulletproof, so they're all going to stick around unless they can jump off the side of the screen, but since they like to chase Mega Man around, they're not going anywhere.
Oh, just an absolutely brutal way to start a run off. Ouch. And this part right here is going to be a little tough because, there we go, got up enough that hopefully he won't get knocked off the elevator.
Okay, I think he's home free for now. And we've got Airman fighting megakyle there. Airman's always interesting because his tornadoes that he spawns are randomized. The number of tornadoes that come out and where they're placed on the screen is randomized, so it can be really tough. Kyle's going with a smart, safe strategy here. Airman also not like weak to Buster. You know, of course you can do damage, but he's not taking a lot of damage, so that's a tricky thing. Oh, now this is going to be a task for Cam. The frog is at the top of this ladder.
Oh my! Can he get?
Oh, I don't know.
Not able to pause buffer through. If he can get to that first little platform.
Yeah, he needs to get to that ledge, but without an item, I don't know if he can.
Oh no!
This is an incredibly unlucky seed for Cam. He's trying to pause buffer to get a little higher and maybe not get knocked down, but the knockback on enemies is also randomized. So those frogs are going to knock him around. I don't think he can make it.
Oh, he was just one, maybe two pause buffers short of getting onto that ledge and getting through. Oh, what a shame. Oh, it's just maybe, you know, a step or two, and he's able to get up.
It's like a pixel too high.
There's a point at which you're just going to have to make a decision of, you know, trying to buffer your way through this, or just kind of go, all right, I can't do this stage right now, and unfortunately, this looks like it's gonna just cost a major amount of time for kammesennin here, either way. Because megakyle is almost at the end of his second stage, and kammesennin is fundamentally stuck on this board here and not able to pull off a pause buffer to get through the small frogs.
I think for a bit there, Kyle was farming for health because he got knocked off the ledges, couldn't go get that other E-Tank, and he used his first E-Tank against Airman, so if Bubble does a lot of damage to him and is difficult, this could be a chore for Kyle. Bubbleman is funny. You have to land on the same level as Bubbleman to trigger him again. He just stands here. He will wait for you, but when you go to his level, he shoots you in the face. So this is not easy.
Yeah, it looks like megakyle's going to end up taking a death here.
This is already starting out to be a terrible seed, no matter which way you look at it.
But yeah, Megakyle's gonna have to, you know, I guess the only, you know, level of solace is that Megakyle's gonna have to get through that area as well, and it looks like kammesennin's gonna take a death here, as, well, 1 damage each, and can't get up to get through that screen there.
Yeah, I think the only way Cam can move on is to just try to kill himself. I mean, those shooty enemies might have been a good place to take enough damage. Maybe he's determined to make it. Maybe it's possible. But to take a game over and go to a different stage.
Yeah, the problem is these small frogs only do 1 tick of damage.
Yeah.
And this is just an unfortunate exercise in absolute frustration as we're, you know, over 6 minutes in. Megakyle's finished 2 stages, and kammesennin is, well, fundamentally stuck here on his first stage of Crashman.
Our runners are having a conversation in IRC right now. Let's see what exactly happens here. So what's going on here, folks, is that Kyle and Cam are talking about doing a rematch, a restart of this race because of the unfortunate situation that Cam ended up in. Kyle is being very honorable and trying to give Cam a fair shake. And we're kind of waiting for some authority to say if that's okay or not, because I am definitely not a person that can make a decision like that.
Well, I know what I want to see, and that's, you know, a race. So, you know, if it were up to me, you know, if it's, you know, if both of the runners want to put on a show, we can deal with the aftermath later and, you know, have this be a provisional Game 2 and Game 3 pending an official ruling as to what's going on. But, you know, personally, I'm here to see a race, and to see something like this end the way it may end up ending, I'm not too thrilled about that.
Yeah. What do you think, chat? If both players we're gonna just do a mulligan on this race too, do you think that's an okay thing to do? All right, well, I'm not seeing any hard opposition, so I think we might consider doing a rematch. All right, well, bear with us, folks. We are going to do a rematch. We're just getting the room sorted out, getting a new seed generated, and we will fire off Game 2, attempt number 2 in just a moment.
I blame Cats for all of this, because apparently all his base belongs to him, and kind of messed up that whole seed. So
yeah, that was a tainted seed.
No. Hopefully we're gonna get this little redo sorted out in the very near future, and hopefully we'll have Game 2 on the horizon. Alright, looks like the race countdown is started, and Game 2 should be on its way in just a few moments.
Alright, yep, looks like we are doing race 2 here in just a little bit. Yeah, that's another reason that both of these guys, Kyle and Cam, are so cool, is that, you know, they can come to a gentleman's agreement and say, hey, this seed is pretty awful. We're not even going to have a race at this point. Let's make sure that we have a good show and have a good race, you know, so good sportsmanship and all that. Like, this is great. It's something that happens a lot in the Mega Man community, I think. There's a lot of really cool people out there that are fun to play with just because they're so nice.
And here we go. It looks like we're on our way for take 2 of Game 2 in this match between megakyle and kammesennin. Looks like kammesennin choosing a slightly easier stage to start with on Metal Man, and megakyle is using Flashman to start with yet again.
I saw in the IRC chat that Cam said something to the effect of, maybe this time I'll actually look at the stage select screen. So I think last time, for Cam, most of the time, since he does go for Buster only all the time, it doesn't really matter what stage he picks first. Well, sometimes maybe it does.
Yeah, it seemed like he had chosen a stage at random, and I don't think that is the ideal strategy. And megakyle learns very quickly that the regular Buster shot is what is going to topple our crash walls in this particular seed.
And even though they're on different stages, we got some sync going into the boss rooms, which is cool. Cam's got a tough situation here. Woodman on a conveyor belt is really hard, because you want to stand next to him and shoot him. He's going to use his E-Tank. You want to stand next to him and shoot through the leaf shield and not get hit by Woodman's body, but the conveyor belt makes that impossible when Woodman's on the left side.
Yeah, you're gonna get bodied by Woodman on a conveyor belt. Just, it's... You have to juggle the shot, juking out to work with it. It is almost nearly impossible, like you say, to really take care of Woodman quickly in that fashion.
Oh, chickens in air stage. This is interesting.
Oh, I like to keep my robot chicken confined to YouTube if I can help it, but
right.
Unfortunately, looks like you can get a bit of a dose of robot chicken here in the Airman stage. Hopefully it won't.
Looks like Cam's done this before, because he's moving along real nicely. When I have chickens on air stage, it slows me down tremendously, because anytime you go for a jump over a pit, you're risking death.
Yeah, chicken will just kind of show up and knock you down into a pit, and you just have no warning for it. Just like those crushers there. Just, oh, well, you're just going to get spawned on top of a crusher, take 8 damage. And megakyle making it past the double Sniper Joe armors.
Yeah, the mechs are weak to Buster. It looks like they were one Buster shot, but we don't know anything about Sniper Joe yet.
Avoid him. I know that much.
That's usually a good move. Just run.
Just don't even waste your time with him and move along.
Well, Quickman is no walk in the park. He's not weak to Buster. And he's jumping around a lot. He's a hard target right now. Cam has no E-Tank. He's probably going to have to take a death off of Bubble. Yep. He'll come back in with full health, though. It's not too bad of a death. Could be worse.
megakyle using an E-Tank to stay in that fight and polish off his second boss.
Yeah, this Bubble Man is he's not Huggles, but he is really difficult looking, because anytime he starts to shoot, he's got like a shotgun and his bubbles are coming out. He's got an arsenal.
Yeah, megakyle actually picked up item 2 at the end of that stage, so maybe we'll see him put that to good use. Oh, our little frogs are back for some more action here in Bubble Man stage.
Yeah, frogs and crabs as well. Oh, and there's the Fan Man, but if you're gonna have Fan Man, this is a good place to have the Fan Man, because there's no pits.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. No pits to find yourself getting blown back into. Although, if he shows up later on, that might be a minor inconvenient. Wow, we got the shrimps here, Sniper Joes, and fans, bats, oh my.
Yeah, we'll see if the Fan Man comes back in the part of this wood stage where there are pits.
Oh, hopefully he doesn't, but, you know, I probably should not have said that. I think I've just, commentator cursed both of our runners to have Fan Man at the back end of our Woodman stage here.
And Kyle's got crabs at the pits in Bubble, which is also a little bit of a chore. If you take your time, you're going to make it through, but, you know, those crabs are sometimes not as predictable as you'd like them to be.
Megakyle actually hesitating a little bit to make sure nothing was going to stop him from jumping across that last platform.
All right, we didn't curse Cam. There were no Fan Man there, so that was great.
Whew, I feel a lot better now. I went right when I said it, I'm like, oh no, what did I just say? Can I, like, go back and maybe they, you know, cut my audio so they can't hear me say that?
Wow, not Fan, but Airman underwater is being tough. He's throwing lots. Oh, he's stuck in the ceiling. He's being tough. He's throwing tons of tornadoes. It's really hard for Kyle to get through the tornadoes to land some shots.
Oh, but and now you got to make sure you jump just right so you get high enough to hit him, but not high enough that you bounce off a spike, and no amount of E-tanks is going to save you from that.
That fight, when you get Airman underwater and he gets stuck in the ceiling. Oh, Crashman's just going for a walk. Okay, that's cool. But the Airman stuck in the ceiling, it feels really straightforward. Like, okay, all I got to do is jump up there and shoot him because I'm behind him too. But the spikes are right there. It's not as simple as it seems like it should be.
Yeah, there's a very precise window that you need to jump into. And kammesennin picks up item 3 as his reward for finishing his third stage. And Megakyle seems to be off to Woodman to pick up his item 3 at the end of this level as well.
Yeah, that Crashman fight was hilarious. I love when you get one like that. Sometimes Crashman will just walk around. He just, you know, can't be bothered. Maybe Dr. Wily messed up the programming there, forgot, like, one of the chips that makes him actually fight.
Well, minor details. I mean, I think he eventually got it right when he made 0, but, you know, it only took a couple games for him to get that far, and, his R&D budget. And Megakyle discovering that the Fire Cats are weak to the Metal Blade. Now, the dancing shrimps here might discourage the use of a Goodwood zip, and it looks like neither runner has opted to take that zip.
Yeah, the Goodwood is an interesting zip. It has some risk. Things can go wrong, and then you have to take a game over or just find a way to die?
Well, usually if you mess it up, you fall into a pit, but you fall into the pit too early and don't get the zip forward to the next checkpoint.
I love this Disco Flash stage. When you get Metal Man in your boss fight, when he would normally make the platform switch direction, the conveyor belt, it does other cool color effects in the boss fight room, and it's always a lot of fun.
And there is a question in chat. Excuse me if I am ignorant, which you aren't, because we're going to enlighten you. What is item 2 and item 3? While Megakyle just absolutely dumpsters Crashman. Item 1 is a platform that will, under most circumstances, raise, and you can have multiple instances of these platforms. I believe 3 of them can be on screen at any one time. However, since this is a randomizer, item 1 platforms are randomized in their duration, the speed at which they incline, if they incline at all, Oh, Megakyle taking an unfortunate death at the beginning of Airman.
It's right at the beginning of the stage. He'll be okay, but he did what I do, and I start seeing chickens on air stage, and I panic.
Item 2 is what I generally tend to call Rush Jet because, well, not to show my bias, but I kind of like Mega Man 3 a little more than Mega Man 2, and that's the game I'm much more familiar with. But as you can see right now, it's basically just a jet you can use to traverse long pits. Item 3 is similar to Item 1, but clings to a wall and will go up and down the wall. Item 3 also expends item energy every second it is on the screen, whereas Item 1 expends item energy for every platform you spawn, no matter how long you stay on the platforms.
Cam taking a smart E-Tank there to dispatch that quick man that we discovered from Kyle's side of things, that is not an easy quick man.
Well, not only did kammesennin get tool-assisted speedrun attack, he got his item 3, I believe, or was it item 2? Either way, I believe both runners now have item 2 and item 3.
And when Cam chose his stage there, he had 3 Robot Masters to go. We'll see what Kyle has as he gets to the stage select screen. There is a lot of stuff in that heat stage. We got everything. We got shrimp, we've got Metroids, and we've got bats. This is chaos right here.
Ouch. This is almost as bad as a previously revealed Crashman stage seed. But at least
All right, Cam getting through it.
You can actually get through this.
And Kyle also has 3 Robot Masters to go, so Cam appears to have a lead, but since they've done different stages and they take different amounts of time to do, we don't quite know yet.
Well, it's mostly in the delivery of, you know, the routing at this point, because some stages, well, as we can see, are longer than others, and simply, if you have a longer stage left on your list of things to do, well, that's going to cost you a little time further down the road. And that may well be the case.
I don't think Cam... Am I wrong in that the walls are Buster weak, right?
That is correct.
Cam hasn't
But
found that out yet.
Megakyle is the one who knows that, as
right.
kammesennin has not checked the Buster wall yet.
He hit a couple walls with the Buster there, but there were little frogs in the way, so I don't think he realized that he was hitting the wall and doing damage.
I think that's an unfortunate side effect of this particular area. You can't really ever be sure if you're hitting an enemy, a Yoku block, or the actual wall itself. I actually saw a run that was done a few days ago where the bubble shot was one of the enemy weaknesses and also the Yoku block weakness, or excuse me, the crash block weakness, but it bounced off a Yoku block when he attempted to actually test the crash block itself.
Oh, that's awful. Okay.
So you get to the Wily 3 stage fight, or excuse me, Wily 4 with the bombs, and he's going through all the other items trying to figure out what it was that was weak, because he thought the bubble bounced off of the crash block. And it's...
Kyle encountering that woodman that was so difficult on the conveyor. He's going to E-Tank. It's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah, since you're going to take at least another couple hits, and
oh yeah,
you know, losing half his life bar after that E-Tank, there's no way he would have survived it without the E-Tank.
I mean, the other strat or gamble or whatever is that you take a death on purpose and come back into the room with full health so that you don't have to use an E-Tank. But I think that is something you encounter a lot more in normal mode, where the difficulty ramps up.
Well, I think, you know, using the E-Tank, you have it And I think I don't want to lose any time. You know, I think the time lost to taking the death as opposed to just using the E-Tank and fundamentally continuing the boss fight with full energy. Oh no, Megakyle might be trapped down there. Oh, he got out of it. That's good. Uh-oh,
yeah,
is he gonna...
there's so many sprites, and with the streams, it's hard for us to see the iframes. You just have to trust that they're going to make it. Oh, that Metroid. Oh, Metroid. Okay.
Oh,
he made
no.
it through. Wow, that was
They're
scary.
not having any of it.
That was scary.
Megakyle using an item 2 to bypass having to jump through most of this section, and it looks like not high enough, switching over to item 3 to get over that wall.
There's so much lag with those frogs there, and Kyle's going for this zip. It's probably going to be really hard to pull off because of the amount of lag that's going on. He does it anyway.
Well, it might have been hard to pull off, but he got it. So looks like he's going to use the zip and some item 2 and make up a little bit of time here to the Heatman stage where kammesennin took the Yoku block route, and now kammesennin is dealing with a stuck-in-the-ceiling airman, quickly dispatching of him.
Yeah, Cam really surgically did some damage to Airman there. There were these little tiny gaps between tornadoes where you could just barely fit a buster shot, and he got at least 2 of those. That was really well done.
Oh yeah, Megakyle got a very unfortunate set of patterns where there were a lot of tornadoes on the bottom parts of the screen that were protecting Airman from being hit directly. And
Megakyle with a super clean fight against Heatman.
Just making his way through, and that will be his 7th boss, I believe. kammesennin has saved Crashman for last. Or did he have one other boss remaining? I was not looking at his screen.
Well, you know what? Megakyle also just started Crash as his last stage, so I think they're really close right now. Both on Crash as their last stage, I would bet.
So now kammesennin actually has a slight lead into Crashman stage. If this is their last stage, unfortunately, I was watching Megakyle's boss fight while kammesennin had finished up, so I did not see his screen.
Now, Kyle is not going for the zip. Do they not have? No, they have item 1, but is it a stationary item 1?
I don't believe it was stationary, more so than just not moving very much.
Very slow. Yeah, the very slow one. Oh no, it's stationary. There's one. Okay, it is stationary. So I was surprised for a moment that Kyle didn't go for the zip. And now we know why.
I think it's still possible to pull off, but you have to be perfect in where you place item
You have to be
1,
Kumba.
and it may not be worth the risk in trying to pull it off at all.
Chat will correct me if I'm wrong. There's everybody, well, not everybody, maybe some people know a runner named Kumba who plays ROM hacks almost exclusively, and he plays one, I think it's in No Constancy, that it has these item 1s and they don't move, but Kumba can place them pixel perfect and make the zips happen. So yes, it's possible. It's really, really hard to do.
Well, getting struck by lightning twice is, well, technically possible, but, you know, yeah, I think, you know, we're on about even odds on having this particular instance happen. It's just very, very difficult to do.
Yeah, well, look at this near sync we have. This is getting super close. Kyle did some catch-up work by using item 1s to get up some ladders faster, where Cam was riding some elevators and conveyors, and so we are super close. Kyle's going to go up and get the extra life where Cam isn't, so he's going to sort of cut the corner and maintain a tiny
Yeah, Megakyle
lead.
went a little wide on that turn, and kammesennin taking the inside line into the fight with our boss at the end of the Crashman stage, which is Flashman.
Green Flashman. Oh, he's aggressive. Ooh, look at that. I've never seen a pattern like that where Flashman sort of darts straight at you.
Oh no, and kammesennin does not have an E-Tank. He's going to almost very
Can he dodge
take
him?
a death.
Can he? Oh, he does.
Unfortunate as he takes a death. Ow.
That is one of the most difficult Flashman I've ever seen.
And megakyle is able to polish off Flashman, and he will be first into the Wily stages. Oh, this is just a pure 6 brawl between kammesennin and Flashman here. At least kammesennin was able to win round 2. And almost right on cue. We've got our Wily stages going on.
And at the beginning of Wily 1, Kyle's got crabs again. It's not an easy bad guy to get on this screen, because as you're trying to use an item 2 or 3 or whatever you choose to get up this wall right here, wow, that was good for Kyle there. Usually a crab spawns right where you want to go.
Yeah, that's very true. If you use the item 3 here, there's a good chance you get knocked off, and you try to use the item 2, the crabs are spawning just about at that specific spot, and you'll get knocked around. Like, unfortunately, kammesennin seems to be being victimized by the crabs in our little spring toys there.
Yeah, Cam getting beaten up a little bit more what I'm used to in that situation. Kyle kind of strolled through there like he couldn't even be bothered. Like, I'm just gonna keep going. Just run. That's the strat for today.
Well, it worked earlier on with the Sniper Joes. Just kind of, well, I'm just going to ignore you and keep on going. So that seems to be the strategy for Game 2, is just go fast.
Kyle with the early flash there, reading that ladder really quickly and going to flash.
Oh, and I forgot about it yet again. What color is our dragon?
Oh, the dragon. What is it?
I'm going to go green.
I'm going to go red. Oh.
Yeah. I keep forgetting to mention that dragon.
Yeah, we don't give you guys enough time to shout out your colors. Okay, Cam. He squeaks by the bat. Ooh, that was scary too.
Weak dragon, and well, kammesennin will be pleased with that one, as you won't need to go searching for an item as Kyle finishes off the Wily 1 stage, and kammesennin only a few seconds behind is
still on his heels.
He'll check the Buster and find it to be rewarding. Dodging those fireballs, and that'll be
Cam
the end of Wily 1.
Mashes him down.
And here is one of the other points at which you are forced to use an item with item 2 to get across the pit in the Wily 2 stage. megakyle not using the opportunity to refill his item energy.
He did some refill at the beginning of the stage with one of the large tanks that's right at the beginning. So maybe he's confident in what he has moving forward from here.
Hopefully that works out. I did not see his item screen enough to know if he was even needing an energy in any... Well, it doesn't look like he needs much of anything aside from item 2, and I am not sure he would even need that. Looks like he's going to fill it back up a little bit.
Did fill up some things there.
I don't believe Flash Stopper is in the running to be a weakness for any of the bosses at this point until the refights.
Yeah, I believe Flash can work against one of the Robot Masters, but none of these Wily bosses.
Well, kammesennin is unfortunately going to learn that the Picotan boss is not having it with Buster. Not having it with quick boomerang. The leaf shield looked to be a very soft weakness.
It works, but it doesn't take them out in one hit, which isn't all that good, because then you risk getting hit constantly. Bubble is a pretty good weapon. Air on Cam's screen is also a very good weapon, and he's going to make quick work of some of these, where Kyle's going to have to do multiple shots with bubbles, and he struggled to find a weakness, so this is going to get synced up a little bit more, I believe. Cam is going to consume all of his air ammo, but that might be worth it.
Yeah, in the refights, he's not going to be searching for any kind of weapons, as he'll use the Buster, and that gap just got shortened down from about 15-20 seconds down to maybe 4 or 5 seconds at this point.
Yeah, it looks like about 4. Yeah, this is super close now.
So this is definitely going to be another very close race that comes down to execution.
If everything else is equal, it's going to be a race of resource management. Kyle going for an E-tank. Cam is going to drop straight through and not fill up anything.
Oh no, but he takes a death. That's going to send him back to the top.
Oh no.
So megakyle almost being rewarded as kammesennin makes that mistake and hits the bubble spike. And it's going to get out to about a 5-second lead, even with his little pit stop for the safety E-tank.
The fireman music here is giving me anxiety.
Uh-oh. Alright, well, hopefully Dr. Frico here can help you out and cause your... help get rid of your anxiety as we get to a Gutsdozer fight here.
It's not Buster week.
Buster, bubbles and negative, looks like quick boomerang.
It's quick again. Okay.
As we can tell, they only seemingly random of the game, as they haven't bothered to change the Gutsdozer weakness. And the obligatory "is this even randomized?" showing up in chat. As we see, there's about the gap widened slightly.
It did. We can confirm that this is not randomized, as this is Purple Hell. And Cam is going to fill up his air that he consumed on the Picos here at the beginning of this stage. It's a good place to refill something you know you want to refill, because you know the refills are going to be there. It's not a guessing game. You just go fill them up.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to end up with. You could have, you know, a boss at the end of the stage that you're going to need the air shooter with, and it would be absolutely unfortunate to have to take a death because you don't have the item energy. And kammesennin is
these gaps.
Unfortunately, finding the location of the troll hole right before the
it's under the ladder and before the ladder as well. So
right,
it's a big jump to get to it.
Oh
yeah.
And you know, using the Buster only strat, it's kind of a almost. Oh no. kammesennin's gonna have a little bit of an issue here with that.
I think that can work for him. Those bullets are a little bit random on where they fly.
He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to use the flash stopper to get across. And I don't blame him, because he would have probably been stuck, and I don't think anybody wants to see that. kammesennin simply, you know, damage boosting to get through the first elevator board.
I see a question in chat if bubble weapon would reveal holes. That's something that's random about the bubble weapon, is it doesn't always want to roll across the floor. Sometimes the bubble weapon would prefer to roll across the ceiling. So, yes and no. It depends on the randomized nature of the bubble weapon.
And kammesennin is going to, unfortunately, lose some time here on the third elevator stage, but he's able to get through it. Pause buffering to make sure the jumps go in his favor, and he is through all of the elevators and onto final area. Looks like, and wouldn't you know it, air is the weakness.
Yes. Wow, so air, that's got to just be some RNG, but boy, is it funny that in the last race, the thing that was really effective against the Picos was also the weakness for the Boo Beams. So Cam did refill his air, but I don't think it's maxed out. He should be okay, as long as he doesn't miss anything and do anything weird with his air ammo.
Well, hopefully he just shoots the bosses with it and keeps it going. He's going to check heat, and fully charged shot is a negatory. He's going to switch over to the air laser, the air shot, and looks like
he's got plenty of ammo.
Just shot right through. Megakyle's on his first boss of the refights here, and kammesennin is 15 seconds behind, roughly speaking, and it's going to come down to execution here.
Yeah, and some of these refights are going to be a challenge. Some of the bosses were pretty hard. Airman was hard for Megakyle already. We had, who was it? Flashman is relentless in this seed. I'm trying to remember all the other hard ones. I think Quickman wasn't easy.
No, Quickman was definitely difficult. And kammesennin's able to land a couple shots here, and Airman turning his back, and kammesennin able to finish off Airman. Megakyle is already through to his 5th boss fight, so hopefully kammesennin can make up some time here.
It's the shotgun bubble.
kammesennin making quick work of his second fight. On to Heatman now. And it looks like this particular instance of Woodman without the Metalman conveyor to interfere is much more friendly to our runners in the refights.
It's better, but it's still not easy, because his leaf shield, when he throws it away, flies really slowly, and it still acts as a shield when you're trying to buster through it.
Yeah, that's very true. kammesennin looks to be making up some time here. As oh, Bubbleman just barely breaking free out of the strategy here. kammesennin's on his 6th
robot
boss,
master difference.
Megakyle is on his 8th, and it looks like he's going to be searching for...
He's going to look for a weapon against Flash. It could help, it could hurt.
Well, this might cost an E-Tank, because if he doesn't use it, he's going to die.
Okay, this is interesting. Kyle has no E-Tanks left, so at the Wily machine, Kyle's going to have a very clean fight.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue, because even if the Wily machine is Buster weak, you have to watch what you're doing.
Kyle's struggling to find a weakness. They're on the same Robot Master now.
Yeah, Megakyle actually just lost a lot of time looking for a weakness, and kammesennin is...
It's always a gamble.
Well, yeah, I mean, sometimes you roll the dice and you come up rolling 7s every time, and everyone...
It's a Buster weak machine again, though.
It's just a matter of...
Full health bar. And if it's Buster weak, Cam should dispatch this pretty quickly. This is getting really close.
Looks like yeah, only one more shot. So Megakyle was to get through, and kammesennin's right on his heels as both runners will be
there we go,
headed down into Victory Road here, and
I said earlier, this comes down to resource management. Will they refill anything? Kyle is not.
Well, I think it's the fair assumption of just thinking that your opponent is going to be hot on your heels and just
it's a gamble though because of your resources
will be the difference between victory and heading on to a game 3.
This could still be interesting because if one player doesn't have enough ammo for whatever the weakness turns out to be, this still could change.
That could very well decide the race.
It's not Buster. That's a good thing to know.
Doesn't seem to be Quick Boomerang. Doesn't seem to be Bubble.
Cam could find the weapon sooner.
Let's see. It's doesn't seem to be anything on page 1.
It's a page 2 item, I think. No. I don't know what this is.
Crash Bomb?
Have they tried air? They're both a little bit low on air. It's probably air. No, it's charged heat. I thought Kyle did a charged heat. Look at this.
Regular heat.
Look at this. Coming down to the last shot, guys.
Oh, this is literally coming down to execution.
Cam with the kill.
Man.
Cam with the win. About 1 second apart.
Kammesennin takes it down with an official SRL time of 36:56. megakyle with an official SRL time of 37 flat. 4-second difference. And kammesennin takes game 2. Wow! We are going to a game 3, boys.
What an ending that was. That was... wow. That was a lot of wow.
Oh, wow. I think I need a second to recover from that and get myself ready for a game 3. Both of these races so far have been so very close.
Oh, I see in chat that someone observed that Cam's timer shows that it's more. He does get the win because it's whoever lands the last hit to kill the final boss first. The timer is somewhat irrelevant, but what really does choose the winner when we're doing a race in this situation is they're communicating through an IRC window, and whoever finishes first according to that IRC timer, the master timer, wins, and Cam did indeed win on that timer by about 4 seconds, even though it looked like the final hits were about 1 second apart. There's always a little bit of sync issues and whatnot, but yeah, Cam is the winner of that race.
Yeah, to further that point, we use the Speed Gaming IRC channel, and there is no tie rule in this particular run. I have seen it happen in other tournaments, the Link to the Past randomizer race, where there was a run where the runners finished within 3 seconds of each other, and per the tournament rules, that was ruled a tie race, and they needed to redo that particular race. The timers on the screen are unofficial, and as was said by my fellow commentator Stuffin' Things, we use an official timer, which is what I use to quote the times that we use to determine who finished first.
In case you guys are a little bit unfamiliar with megakyle and Cam, I just threw their Twitch links up in chat. Go to their channels, follow these runners. Both of these guys, I hang out on their channels on a somewhat regular basis. They are really cool, fun guys to hang out with. and obviously amazing Mega Man runners. So please do that. Go follow their channels right now.
All right, I think I'm ready. Looked like had to do a quick little breathing exercise to calm myself down and get ready for game 3 here.
Yeah, that was intense. That one had the heart rate up, had the chills at the end. Oof.
Wow, I mean, from what was on the screen, it was just an absolute shocker to see maybe a second or a two difference between the runners on the stream. And I know there's a slight flaw in, you know, the official timer that you have to tab out, jump over there, and done. So that may have accounted for the 4-second difference. Plus, you know, there's a little stream lag that might be on this restream as well.